All right, well, let's get started. Thanks for tuning in to our live stream. We're going to talk a little bit about today's forecast, tomorrow's forecast, and a little more importantly, the rain and maybe even thunderstorms that we're going to be looking at as we go into tomorrow. So let's get right into this here. You can see what I'm really keeping an eye on. We are expecting our temperatures to remain really warm. So that's going to continue to be, honestly, a pretty pleasant thing in our forecast through this weekend. We're expecting temperatures to be back into the 50s, maybe even closer to the 60s for many of us as well. We are also going to continue to see just a few isolated showers around the area today. It's not going to be anything major, but if you're heading out the door, I would suggest maybe just keeping an umbrella or a rain jacket in arm's reach, just in case you find yourself under one of those showers. Tomorrow, the rain will be a bit more widespread. So tomorrow is when I would highly recommend having that umbrella or that rain jacket ready. And you may even want to adjust your plans a little bit depending on how much you would be impacted by that rain. Another thing to really keep in mind for tomorrow, we are expecting a couple of thunderstorms with this system too. And we can't fully rule out the chance that there'll be a few strong or severe storms. This is certainly not going to be an outbreak type of situation, nothing major like that, but it is going to be a good kind of trial run as we head into the spring severe weather season, making sure that everybody has a way to receive those alerts in case we need them, especially once we get into this more active season and we do see more threatening weather, especially into the summer. So with this system tomorrow, we're really looking at some small to moderate sized hail and some strong wind gusts. Mainly that wind would be the reason for if we were seeing any severe weather or any thunderstorms that were rated as severe, it would really be due to those wind gusts. So just something to keep in mind. So we'll go into the timing here in a second, but before we get there, I want to talk more about today and the temperatures. So today, overall, we are kind of sitting right at our high temperature for most of us. Maybe we'll warm up another degree or two in the next hour or so, but you can see across the board, most of us are in the 40s. We're about just under 10 degrees above average, so really continuing on in this trend of warmer weather. You can certainly see that through this weekend. Friday, we're back into the 50s already, and then we remain in the upper 50s on Sunday and into Monday. Monday, likely going to reach for the 60s if you don't reach it before then, and then after that, Tuesday is kind of a transition day as our temperatures return closer back to normal, and then we're expecting to be more back to normal as we go through the end of next week and that following weekend, so kind of looking way out there. And so as mentioned, we're going to really talk about the details of this system for tomorrow. So you can see here, this is our severe weather outlook. This is from the Storm Prediction Center. You can see just about all of our counties are included in that low risk of seeing severe weather. And then the very southern tier of our counties are right on the fringe there of that medium risk of seeing severe weather. So again, just kind of highlighting the potential for some strong or severe storms, but this is certainly not going to be an outbreak type of event. If you're in one of our southernmost counties, you guys are a little more at risk at seeing some severe weather. So again, just another reason to have a way to receive those alerts. So I want to jump into our hour by hour here. You can see throughout the afternoon, maybe a handful of showers passing through. Again, nothing that's going to be major, but maybe just keep that umbrella on standby. Overnight tonight, we could see just a few more pop-up showers, but otherwise we'll be a bit drier. We'll also be looking at overcast skies. Tomorrow morning could be looking at another round of some fog that had been an issue this morning, especially for our friends along the lakeshore. So keep that in mind for tomorrow. But back to this system for tomorrow, you can see this is 9 a.m. We're looking at this first round of showers pushing in. So by around 9 to 10, I expect this to push its way towards the Fox Valley, likely reaching Green Bay closer to around 11. This is going to become a little more scattered as it continues to push towards the lake. So by around 1, again, scattered showers on and off. And then it does become a bit more organized again as we go into Friday afternoon. So this is 3 p.m. Friday. Again, this is also when we could be looking at some thunderstorms. So likely at this point is when we would maybe see a few rumbles of thunder, some flashes of lightning, especially again for that southern tier of counties. This should clear out here by around 5 o'clock. So keep in mind, if you have an earlier evening commute for tomorrow, you may be running into some of that rain. Otherwise, most of us should be seeing drier conditions by the time that evening commute comes around, which is certainly good news. But then from there, we'll be dry for a couple of hours, but we won't be fully done yet. We are expecting another wave of some showers and thunderstorms to push in. This is showing around 11 p.m. This is making its way into our viewing area, and this is likely when we would have the better chance of seeing some strong damaging wind gusts. Again, this is when that severe weather threat would more so be there, and this is also when we would be looking at some of the heaviest rain. So just keep in mind, this is going to be an overnight type of situation. And so by around 1 a.m., that first push of showers should be out of here, but we'll still be left with some scattered showers. This should wrap up pretty quick though in terms of our Saturday. So 3 a.m. it's becoming a lot more scattered. By 5 a.m. we should be just about in the clear. So if you normally tune in to Action 2 News on the weekends with me and Victoria, you'll notice that probably by the time we're on air Saturday, this system will have cleared out of here, so it'll be more so that morning. So then after that, we should be seeing some drier conditions through the weekend. One thing to keep in mind though with this rain, especially when we see these times of heavier rainfall, we can't rule out flooding as a potential threat as well, but keep in mind that flooding is kind of separate from when we refer to severe weather or severe thunderstorms. So with flooding, again, this is not the type of event where the National Weather Service is sounding the alarms, but if you live somewhere that's prone to flooding, especially if your ground is already wet, you guys would likely be first in line to receive some flooding, especially late Saturday night. So certainly just be taking the steps you need to do to prepare for that and be aware of that as you're heading out and planning out your Friday and Saturday. So we're looking at our Super 7-day forecast here. A few showers throughout the rest of today. Friday, rain, thunderstorms pretty much all day, but we'll see some gaps in the rain there. Saturday, lingering showers in the very early morning. Otherwise, the rest of the day will be mostly cloudy, but we should be dry. Sunday, we change our clocks ahead, so just a reminder that you'll lose an hour of sleep, unfortunately, on Sunday morning. Sunday should be pretty nice, though. Overall, our temperatures will be warmer, we'll be closer to the 60s, and we should remain dry with a lot of sunshine. Monday, that sunshine continues, those temperatures keep warming up, and then as I mentioned, Tuesday's kind of our transition day. Our temperatures will start to drop across the area. We could be looking at another round of showers from Tuesday into Wednesday. With that one, our temperatures will be hovering close to that freezing point, which means that we could maybe see some mixed precipitation as well as just liquid rain. So the details of that, of course, are still a bit uncertain, but just again, to kind of recap for tomorrow, be sure that you have an umbrella, your rain jacket ready to go. Also have a way to receive those warnings. Weather radio is usually the preferred way, but our app is also a really great tool there to have those alerts. So just be aware of that Friday, but we should be wrapping up with that into Saturday, and we're left with a great weekend. So thank you all for tuning in. I hope you have a great rest of your day.